Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Two Vet Sports Show. This is Christian, and this is my boy Anthony over here. Today, we got a lot of topics to cover all across the NFL and the MLS and a couple of leagues. Some good topics of conversation coming up also on this weekend's games. So make sure you go ahead and share, like, and follow the page. Share it with your families and your friends. And please go ahead and comment, interact, voice your opinions and your thoughts. As we get into this episode, we got a lot to talk about. So, Anthony, how's your day and what you got thinking today?
What up, guys? Appreciate you guys listening in. So follow us on our socials, Twitter, Facebook. We have TikTok as well, Two Vet Sports Show. We would love to hear from you guys. Breaking news as we were going live, waiting on our 30-second countdown. Breaking news, the top cornerback in the nation, Cormani McClain, has just decommitted from Miami and committed to Colorado. Deion's already making his impact, man.
Wow, that's a big get for him. Now he's got Travis Hunter. Well, he's had Travis Hunter, and now he's got – what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Cormani McClain.
Cormani McClain. Okay.
Was committed to Miami. He's the number 4 overall ranked prospect in the nation, the top ranked corner.
Is he for the class of 25, 24?
24. Yeah. He is the third ESPN 300 prospect in the 2023 class for Sanders.
Oh, man.
I don't think it'll be
Colorado.
I don't think it'll be an overnight deal. I think Colorado's a fringe bowl team next year, maybe 7-5, 8-4. But following that, they could be Pac-12 champions.
It's going to be interesting. And then they're also playing USC in week 2, so it's the Caleb Williams versus Shadur Sanders show. So
that'll be fun. That's
going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be right immediately when the season happens, basically after week 1, because week 1's usually they'll go play like those Division 2, Division 3 schools, give them some exposure.
Play Western Colorado or something.
Just give them a little warm up, figure it out. But yeah, already got one of our guys in here, Brandon Shirley. He's popping in. He's one of my buddies. He's saying, what's up? What are we talking about today? We got a lot to talk about here in a minute. I was going to go over the divisional round first. We kind of based off of it on Tuesday, kind of gave the highs and lows, what we think is going to happen, but we have a lot more in depth here in a minute.
Why don't you want to go ahead and give your boy a shout out?
Oh, for Brandon, are you talking about
the MLS? The MLS.
Okay, yeah. So we'll go ahead and pull up the slides here. This morning, Charlotte FC defender Anton Walks passed away in a boating accident in Miami. He was a part of the inaugural team for the Charlotte FC in MLS, so he was, enjoying his life in the offseason. They're about to ramp up here for the actual start of the season here in about a month. I think about 30 days coming up. So sad to see that young man, passing away, just enjoying his life. So thoughts and prayers to his family, and thoughts and prayers to anybody who's actually been affected by the tragedy. So I want to give a moment of silence to everybody out there really quick. All right, rest in peace, Anton. All right, and with that, we'll go further in. I don't know if you want to cover divisional stuff first, or you want to cover it last.
Yeah, man, we can jump into our keys for the divisional round. As we discussed on Tuesday, and you and I discussed prior to the show, I think that every game is winnable this weekend for every team. I'm excited about this weekend. I don't think, unless something chaotic happens, I don't think we'll see any blowouts. But we can start with the Jags and Chiefs. I think for the Chiefs, man, their nucleus is Patrick Mahomes. As goes Pat, so goes the Chiefs. I think their key to the game, to winning that game, is really simple. Patrick Mahomes. It's that simple. He's generational talent, and I mean, teams have to game plan for Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
He has to be the center of your defensive game plan. You have to count for him with his legs. You have to count for him with his arms, his playmaking ability, and he's a lot. He's a lot to account for.
I think there was a play that he kind of did this past week when he played before the playoffs started.
Right.
There was a play where he basically pocket kind of started to break it down. He saw he had a running lane up the middle and then kind of faked it, like gave it that last second.
Yeah.
And then scooted back around the whole defenders. Luckily, the O-lineman realized what to do, went to the left-hand side, and then threw a dart, 5 defenders crashing in and just got
I got to imagine
first down. So his playmaking ability is literally what you would call magic. And that's going to be the key factor for him, is make sure he continues to produce that magic. But also for the Jags, I don't foresee Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 interceptions again. They're going to attack the middle of the field, which is, I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs is their biggest weakness, is the linebacking core and those middle defenders.
Yeah, man. My
Evan Ingram out there.
My key for the Jags, man, is to feed Travis Etienne. I think, of course, Trevor's got to he's got to take care of the football, and the Jags have got to they've got to play 2 halves. You can't fall behind 28-0 or 27-0 against the Chiefs, man.
No, that's not going to happen. If you do that, you're not coming back. That was not going to happen.
But I think their key to the game is to feed Travis Etienne and keep Pat off the field as long as they can. If they can get Etienne going, I think that the Jags will find some success. Keeping Pat off the field, if their best weapon's not on the field, he can't hurt you. And so that's why I think the biggest deal for the Jags is you got to get Etienne going early.
Mm-hmm. And the big key for the Jags defense is their front 5, and they play that I would say 3-4 defense, where they had their both linebackers coming off the edge. They really do surround the quarterback. They've actually had a lot of pressure, but they're not getting home every single time. But when they do get home, it's pretty crucial in games. So Josh Allen and not Quay Walker. Who was the former first round pick that they just got? Darn it. Well, I can't remember his name.
Aiden Hutchinson.
No, that's Detroit.
Who are you referring to?
Trayvon Walker. That's what it is. Yeah, Jags.
Okay.
I'm referring to the Jags. Trayvon Walker. He's slowly come on. He's actually been actual impact now getting into these playoff games. He was actually pretty there the whole game. But I don't know. Kind of split. Do they pull off another upset? But then,
this is definitely not as talented of a Chiefs team as we've seen in the past.
But they make
Patrick Mahomes, man, is still a lot to deal with. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's the best in this generation of quarterbacks to do it, and he's a lot to handle, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So for the Jags, get Etienne going. For the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes. That's simple as that.
Brendan has zero faith in the Jags to get it done. It's hard to root for him when Patrick Mahomes is playing
Hey, man, look, this is what I'll say. We've had this discussion on the phone many a times. If you take care of the football, you give yourself a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
If you throw 4 picks against the Kansas City Chiefs, you will not win that football game. Period.
Right. And I can't remember, is the game on a Saturday or is it on a Sunday?
Chiefs Jags on a Saturday, and that'd take us into
Oh no. Because
Giants Eagles.
the thing about Trevor Lawrence, he's never lost on a Saturday still.
Yeah, well, that's about to
It's
change.
about to change, probably. It's
It's
probably about to change. Yeah. What's the next game that's going to happen on Saturday?
Night game, Giants Eagles. That one's going to be a fun one, man.
I think everybody's calling the Eagles, but I think the Giants are on a roll. They're hot. They're doing the things right. Daniel Jones playing correctly, like I called when a week ago with Daniel Jones. If you can open up that running game, that opens up his legs to pause. Opens up to actually use his legs and carry that offense more than anything. And he's been not turning over the ball. So if he does that again this weekend, I think it's going to be a problem for the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts is, he's had a couple of rough weeks. He's not really played to full until now.
Yeah, man. So for the Eagles, you're 14-3. Everybody expects you to win this game. You got to just come in and play your game. I think AJ Brown's got to have a big game. Miles Sanders has got to have a big game. I think it's important for Miles Sanders to have a big game here. I don't think that you can put this entire game on Jalen.
No, it can't be. Their defense is going to do their best. Like, their defense has to lock it down. They've got Hassan Reddick on there. They've got Jordan Davis on there from this past draft, who's been playing great. Who else is their premier tackle? Defensive tackle. Cox is on there still. He's still producing. For Anthony here. Here you go. It's Brandon commenting. Basically, Brandon has asked Giants, or is saying, sorry, Giants D gave up more points from the team scored on an average during the regular season in week 13 or 14. The Eagles outscored from 48 to 22. I think it's going to be the same game.
So I've said before, I think in our first show, I think Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL. And my thoughts here is the reason that I'm picking the Giants is because I think the Giants have figured out that their recipe to success is taking care of the football and feeding Saquon. If the Giants try to get in a shootout and we're gonna try to play a West Coast style offense and make big plays through the air, Jalen Hurts wins that battle 10 times out of 10. I would take Jalen Hurts in that battle of an air raid over brain fart Mac Jones any day of the week.
Mac Jones. You talking about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. Sorry.
There you go. There is two Jones quarterbacks.
Goodness. I would take Jalen Hurts over Daniel Jones in an air raid style game 10 times out of 10. I think this game comes down to the running backs and
defensive pressure.
And who do I trust more, Miles Sanders or Saquon Barkley? And the answer to that question is Saquon Barkley. So that's my reasoning for picking the Giants in this game, because I think it's going to come down to whose running back has a better game.
And Daniel's going to have to bring his A game because those corners in Philly do have a.
Did I say
Darius Slade back
Mac
there?
Jones?
James Bradbury, huh?
Did I say Mac Jones?
Yeah, you really did say Mac Jones.
Holy.
Whew. It's not even in. Man's not even in the playoffs. He's sitting on a 4 couch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the cornerbacks are going to be key. If Darius Slay, he's from the Saints. Oh, Bunting, not JPP, but Martavis Bunting. He's the safety from Saints who went over to the Eagles. If he can figure it out, they can ball hawk against Daniel Jones. Then great. Josh Jacobs was the best running back in the league this year. I think we had him because we did the 1, 2, 3 of either Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I think we agreed that. No, we didn't agree. I think
we did agree on RB1 though.
We did agree on RB1, which was Josh Jacobs.
No, we didn't. You picked Josh Jacobs. Mine was Saquon.
Yeah, I think I chose Josh Jacobs. And then Saquon.
Yeah, man, those three are interchangeable, dude.
They are.
I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Those guys are.
But you know who's not in that top 3 that we just listed? Miles Sanders. So.
Yeah, man. I think, dude. I think the recipe to success here is simple, man. You got to feed Saquon. You got to feed your playmaker.
Right. But yeah, I think those are the keys of the game. I think if you can cover with the spy on defense, which is going to be key to the game. Obviously, both these quarterbacks have shown that they can use their legs. They're going to get it wide open when they can. There's going to be a linebacker assigned to spy them, and that's how the game's going to go. So I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game because of that factor. I mean, you'd hope that the defensive coordinators are going to have to use a spy, but I don't know.
Sunday, we've got some really fun games.
Ooh, this is spicy. I'm sorry. Brandon said overall best. Honestly, I'd put Pollard. Look at his rush and his pass game. I think Pollard, if he actually got more time, and they just finally let go of
Brandon, I 1000% agree with you. If I was making the decisions for Dallas, you would immediately be their offensive coordinator because I cannot understand. Okay. I know this is going to hurt some feelings. This might not be.
Hey, pause before. I think you know where you're going with this. I'm going to let you know right now. Brandon is a Houston Texans fan.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
This is going to hurt some feelings. Ezekiel Elliott is a mediocre running back. I do not understand the loyalty to mediocrity. You know what? Since we got this comment, we were going to do Cowboys Niners last, but I wrote these down. This is for you, Brandon. I wrote these down prior to our show. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get this on the screen here.
Yeah.
Lean on Tony Pollard. Quit wasting handoffs to Zeke. Put your best running back in the game and feed him the ball.
It's insane to me why they don't just, make. I think the announcement's going to come next year where Tony Pollard is going to be the guy.
That should be RB1 in Dallas.
He has to be the guy next year.
Tony Pollard is so fun to watch, and I 1000% agree with Brandon. If Tony Pollard was RB1 in Dallas and he got majority of their carries, I think we're sitting here talking about top 4 running backs in the league and figuring out where Tony Pollard belongs in that. He's that good. He's that talented.
Yeah.
He'll run through you. He'll run around you. He'll run away from you. He's got it all. I love watching him play. And I just showed you. That's my key to the game for the Cowboys is to lean on Tony Pollard and slow down Deebo Samuels. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
My keys to the game for the Niners. What?
Oh, he said if looking at a possible 1,500-yard year if Tony Pollard actually, got the ball like he should. I agree. I actually agree with this. I think it would help Dak Prescott 100% more. Like Zeke can be number 2. To keep doing, your power back scheme in the end zone with Zeke, whatever.
I love the goal line stuff with Zeke. I love it. I'm here for
Right.
it. That's the type of back that he is. But he's not your every down back. He shouldn't be treated as one.
Right. And when they're in the middle of the field, why do you have Zeke there? Like, why do you have him when you're on the 20? You need explosive out of the back kind of field when you need to drive down to get in scoring range. When you get in scoring range and, Tony needs a little break, great. Put in Zeke. But I think what his next comment just said is, but Niners all day. And this is what we're about to continue with. I think we have to agree that the Niners have to win this, because if not, then there's a disappointment factor, personally.
Yeah, man. I think I know I picked the Niners. I think Christian and I both picked the Niners in this game.
They've got too many weapons, too many explosiveness in the backfield between having Christian McCaffrey, then throw Debo in the backfield, then have Elijah Mitchell healthy running in the backfield. That's 3 sets of people in schemes. And then you talk about like 21 personnel. Dan Orlovsky went over it couple days, like a day or two ago, about the 21 personnel scheme set when they run Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and interchange out where Christian McCaffrey is on the field, whether he's on the wide receiver set or if he's in the backfield, and then you're running Debo in the backfield. That 21 personnel set that they have running right now is unstoppable because you have no idea what they're doing. Like, you have an idea, but you have no idea where that ball is going to go.
So I think right now, like we watched the Cowboys have a really good game last week. I was really impressed with Dak Prescott. He silenced me. I thought they played a really, really good game. I think the loyalty to Zeke is going to kill them in this game. But if you ask me right now, the only team that's left in these playoffs that's firing on all cylinders week in and week out is the San Francisco 49ers. That's why I picked them to win the Super Bowl. That's why Christian picked them to win the Super Bowl. That's why everybody is picking the Niners to win the Super Bowl. They've got it going on right now. Christian McCaffrey can't be.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say another key to this is you cannot give the 49ers a 3-and-out. Like, you can't give them that. That's why I was talking about when you have the loyalty to Zeke, or what you're talking about with loyalty to Zeke. You can't do that. If you go 3-and-out and then they get the ball back, they have the ability to charge down that field productively. You can't lose possessions. So Kellen Moore's got to really figure it out. Brandon's wondering how he can get on the actual show.
Man, look, Christian McCaffrey is a monster out of the backfield. Debo's impossible. And my only key to the game for the Niners that I need to see happen. Geno Smith had a decent game against them last week. Threw for a couple touchdowns, 250-something, 260-something yards, something like that. He played a decent game against them. So I'd like to see the Niners get some takeaways, force Dak into some uncomfortable pockets, uncomfortable situations, force some turnovers.
It was a tale of two. It was a tale of two halves for the Seahawks.
That'll make my confidence. That'll make my confidence in them even higher. Is if they can force Dak into some uncomfortable throws, uncomfortable situations, cause some turnovers. The 49ers are dangerous, man. They're the last team that I would want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah. Just a short thing before get past that, Brandon. We'll figure out if we can get you on here at some point, and either next week or something. We can discuss the wins, and we'll We'll let it run. It'll be fun. And me and Anthony will talk about as well how to make the show a little more interactive for that part. Yeah. Your last key point was, I'm sorry, I kind of blanked on that one.
So, forcing Dak into uncomfortable situations.
Okay, yeah.
Forcing turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a key point as well.
Gino played a solid game against him, and Dak is a significantly better quarterback than Geno Smith. And
is Dak better than Brock Purdy right now?
That's my opinion, but I would like to see them force Dak into some uncomfortable throws.
That's the lockup. Parsons, Niners have to lock down CD. Brandon just commented on here. 49ers offensive love has to lock up Parsons, and then 49ers defense has to lock down CD and play action. I think with Parsons, Trent Williams is going to be a key factor, just creating those stunts on the offensive line to really figure out how to stop Parsons. The offensive line is going to have a big game. They have to. So I think whoever's dialing up those protection calls, they're going to have to really be on it and just making sure they're watching the tape this week. Offensive line. Okay. I was like, offensive love. But
So Sunday afternoon, we've got Bengals Bills. This will be a fun one.
I think I said on Tuesday, I said Bills. Yes, I might be changing it.
Come on over, man.
If Josh Allen plays the way he did the past game, it's going to be rough. And that defense was looking rough. I think they're missing that pass rush that they had with Von Miller. Their cornerbacks kept getting penalized. They weren't playing sound at all against the Dolphins. Bengals, they've got to really open up that playbook and attack these corners the way they need to attack them in their linebackers.
Yeah, man, that's one of the key points that one of my key factors to the game that I wrote down is getting Jamar Chase and T. Higgins into some space. Let those guys rip, man. Those are your playmakers. Let Joe Burrow rip and throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are two outstanding wide receivers, outstanding wideouts.
Yeah.
Let Joe Burrow rip.
Undercover guy for the Bengals has been Perrine, the running back. He's been explosive, strong, been able to break tackles relentlessly, been a end zone threat. If he can bring his A game as an undercover guy, obviously they have Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon wants to run 400 yards, he can if he really wants to. Did it against the Panthers.
That was one of the things that I wrote down. More from Joe Mixon.
Brandon just commented in here and he said Higgins and Chase will cook that defense. The Bills secondary in the middle are not par with keeping them down, and I think that's going to be a tall task. But here's my thing: Josh Allen didn't use his legs the last game. He stayed in the pocket, tried to get his receivers open. Josh needs to do the thing that Daniel was doing this past weekend, and we all know he can do it. If he can do it, then maybe the defense for the Bengals will have a little bit more trouble, but I really don't think it's going to be the case because I think it's going to get too caught up in staying in the pocket, trying to get receivers open.
So last week, their team totals for rushing was 18 carries for 51 yards, averaging 2.8 yards a carry, and their one rushing touchdown came from neither one of their running backs. It came from Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon had 11 carries for 39 yards. Samaje Perine had 2 carries for 3 yards. That ain't going to cut it. I can tell you right now that ain't going to cut it. They're going to have to get more from Joe Mixon. I'm telling you, man. Like dude. Not only do you have one elite wide receiver, you have two top tier elite wideouts. Get those guys into some explosive routes. Let Joe Burrow do his thing and let those guys fly, man.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
Bills are hurt, strapped at secondary.
They're strapped on the secondary, and then they don't have a good pass rush. Their pass rush is not there. To be
Like
fair,
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are the key to this game for me for the Bengals.
they have to be. And I think it was Steve Smith on NFL Network. I was watching the 6 o'clock Total Access, and he was kind of just pointing at that as a key thing for the game is just getting those receivers open. And Joe Burrow's going to have to just sling it.
Man. I like Joe Shiesty, man. I think he's got the receivers to like legitimately, like I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at Joe Burrow having almost 400 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns in this game.
I wouldn't doubt that we get into a shootout.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of their wide receiver group, and like that's not even accounting for Hayden Hurst. That you throw Hayden Hurst into the mix with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Dude, they're tough, dude. They're tough. They're tough to stop on offense. I don't know what the Ravens did last week that was so special that was able to keep them at bay, but the Bengals were able to do enough. And here we sit this week saying again, the Bengals got to let it rip. Let it rip.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one of the on paper, you've got the best offense in the league. Let it rip.
Yep. All right, so I think we covered pretty much all the teams for the weekend. There's other news across the NFL happening right now. Sorry. Sorry, I answered text message there. Yeah, other news of the week. So let's get into this. I made a couple PowerPoint slides here just from the news from today. And immediately we'll start off with the Carolina Panthers. They're under some scrutiny and possible NFL policy violations in regards to the head coaching practice. Apparently, David Tepper and Scott Fitter are the main ones who have been doing the interviews. But also it was said by Scott Fitter 2 weeks ago when they did a presser that Nicole Tepper was going to be stepping in as well, because I think it's a good idea, because David would just hire the first person named Sean Payton. And she was supposed to be involved in the search, but apparently she didn't follow NFL policy in regards to inclusive. What in the bug on my computer? Sorry about that. She did not. Oh no, I did that. She did not follow the policy in regards to the mandatory inclusive hiring training before the team searched. So any hires that happened up to date since last Tuesday, including Steve Wilkes, Frank Wright, Jim Caldwell, and a couple other individuals that have already interviewed, and would technically include Sean Payton if they've interviewed him. If they're interviewing him tomorrow, she can't be there. But according to the spokesperson at the Panthers, they're saying that she did take the training. So I guess either there's a failure on somebody's end to report that she did do the training, or maybe they're just covering it and saying that she didn't do the training. So I don't know what kind of infractions is going to cause. Maybe they could lose the first round pick. They could lose something. They could be monetary loss, or I don't know. I don't know, but that's today's news for the Panthers as they set to interview Sean Payton tomorrow morning in New York.
Y'all want some Texans news?
Ooh, let's give it.
I still have no faith in their front office. I still have no faith that their front office is going to get this head coaching hire right.
No. Don't believe so.
Let me explain something to y'all real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm about to get on a soapbox. I love Sean Payton. I think he's a great coach. But Sean Payton had access to Drew Brees for 14 years. How many Super Bowls did they go to, Christian?
Sean Payton?
Yeah.
He went to 2, actually. One with the Giants and one with the Saints. He won the Saints.
I'm referring to his 14 years with Drew Brees in New Orleans.
Okay, 1.
That doesn't jump off. That doesn't scream trade your first round pick for me. And trading a first round pick would be the most Texans move I've ever seen in my life, especially when you have
Ethan. They don't want him.
The Texans got more problems than quarterback. But anyways, you're laughing, you're smirking, and it ain't funny. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. It ain't funny.
It is because they're worse than the Panthers. So it's funny to me, I guess.
At least an hour of my day right now consists of me refreshing my Texans update feed, making sure that they didn't hire Sean Payton. It stresses me out. My palms get sweaty because I'm worried that they're going to hire Sean Payton. They're going to trade a draft pick for Sean Payton, man. They're going to trade. I just know they're gonna trade a draft pick for a coach, and it's gonna burn me up because I love my boys, but I don't like watching them go 3-14. Damn it! So what they need to do, they need to hire Jonathan Gannon, okay, and then they need to draft C.J. Stroud with that second pick, and then at 12 or 13, whatever it is, go get you a receiver.
Quinn Johnson or Jordan Addison. That's what you need to get.
Get you something. Get you a sexy name at 12. And now we got Jonathan Gannon leading these boys. We got C.J. Stroud at quarterback. We got good young pieces on defense. We make a good coaching hire so Brandon Cooks wants to stay, and we win the AFC South next year. But damn it, if you trade a first round pick for Sean Payton, I'm gonna lose my mind. There's gonna be a hole in this wall behind me on the next show that we do.
We'll see. We'll get into more on Sean Payton here at the end. I got a slide for him actually. Actually, that might be the next slide. But yeah, that's it for right now for the Panthers. They got a lot of interviews. They got Sean Payton tomorrow. They got Ken Dorsey interviewing before his game on Sunday, and then Mike Kafka on Saturday. Saturday is going to be Ken Dorsey, and then Sunday is going to be Mike Kafka after his game, depending on if they win or lose. Obviously, we're kind of picking the Giants to win that one. So,
dude, you have
see how it goes.
You have something right now. If you're the Texans, you have something right now that any other team in the league would dream of. You've got 2 first-round picks, one in the top 5 and one in the top. The other one's in the top 15. You got 2 within the top 15. You got $45,000 in cap space. You've got Dameon Pierce at running back, who's a promising young rookie. You've got talent on defense. You better not trade away one of those first-round picks, man. I'm telling you.
All right, so here's the next slide here. It was on Sean Payton, as he is currently the favorite to be Denver's head coach, which
Yeah,
would
baby.
make sense.
Yes. Yes.
Um, hey Brandon, why not? uh, Jane, Ethan is over here trying to stir up Brandon here in the comment section on YouTube. Good thing, good stuff. But Russell Wilson has apparently reached out to Sean Payton and wanting him to come to Denver and be able to fix him. He knows he needs Sean Payton to help fix him. He's Sean. I don't know. Is he a QB whisperer? I don't think so. But I mean, I think he can help Russ out a little bit better. I think this offense could run a little bit smoother. But in general, I think to pick a destination for Sean Payton, I think it's heating up for the Denvers.
What's wrong with you? Are they going at it in the?
No, there's Brandon said, "Hey, leave my boys alone, Ethan."
Yeah, man.
He's talking about the Texans.
I don't think there was a Russell Wilson problem in Denver. I think there was a Nathaniel Hackett problem in Denver.
It could have been. I don't think he was truly a leader in there, and then also, his offense was just.
I saw he
he
interviewed for the New York Jets OC position. That would be the most New York Jets thing to do, is to hire a failed head coach as their offensive coordinator.
Also, there's the connection there. Mike LaFleur, who is Matt LaFleur's brother, who's the Green Bay Pack head coach, right? Nathaniel Hackett was his OC. As in like, Nathaniel Hackett was above Mike LaFleur before Mike LaFleur got a chance to go be an OC of the Jets. So that's kind of like, a most Jets thing for them to do, is to hire the guy that, basically that taught the guy how to do things. So what kind of improvement do you see there?
So I saw today Bill O'Brien's interviewing Saturday for the Patriots offensive coordinator position. And I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all know right now, Bill O'Brien will be the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots next year.
I think that would help out Mac Jones a lot, because he was also there. Was he there with Mac when he left? Or
I think Bill O'Brien's first year at Bama was Mac Jones' senior year.
Okay, so that would make sense.
I think. But the connection's already there, man. Like that Bill O'Brien came from the Belichick tree, so I think you can already go ahead and put that one in the bucket.
Yep. So there was a column earlier today about Derek Carr. I don't know if we really want to talk about him, but basically, him and McDaniel just don't get along. That's what all this wonderful hoopla is on the screen right here is basically describing that McDaniel would call out Derek Carr on the spot in the rooms. He wouldn't cuss him out, wouldn't do any of that, but he would call him out in a way that Carr felt really disrespected, and didn't really have anybody apparently in his previous coaching past to kind of nail him like that, in a certain way.
Yeah, man, I think yeah.
Bill O'Brien should be sued for the sabotage of the Texans organization. He sabotaged y'all really bad.
That's the most hated man in Houston, I'm telling you. Yeah, there's a lot of good places for Derek Carr to end up, man. I think there's some teams that could really benefit from his talents, not the Houston Texans, because they're going to draft C.J. Stroud. But
nor is it a place for the Carolina Panthers, because we are done playing the veteran QB plug and play bullcrap that they've been playing for the past 3 years. We're not doing that anymore. Teddy Bridgewater, Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. I'm not going down this road again. Keep him away from Carolina. I want to see a young rookie in there. Derek Carr,
you guys heard it here first.
Anywhere.
You guys heard it here first on the Two Vet Sports Show. Derek Carr will not be a Houston Texan, nor will he be a Carolina Panther.
I do think he'll be a Tampa Bay Buck. If
that might happen, actually.
If Brady's really gone and he wants to go to Las Vegas for a year or go to the Fort Couch and go do his broadcasting gig, that leaves the door open for
I'm telling you right now.
Tampa Bay.
I'm telling you right now, Tom Brady's going to Vegas. Telling you right now. It just makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is apparently the issues here with Derek Carr within the locker room. Obviously, it's coming from anonymous sources, guys in the locker room, whoever wanted to give their spiel on it. Yeah, we get to the next topic here. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Bucks, we're getting into the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator firing spree that happened today across the league. Obviously, it's been happening the past week. There's about 11 or 12 offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator positions open as we speak. So a lot of young offensive and defensive minds are going to get put into positions here coming soon. Byron Leftwich was fired from the Bucks today. And then 9 other assistants, including Coach Chris Bonille, wide receivers coach Kevin Garver, offensive quality control coach Jeff Castle, assistant defensive line coach Lori Locust, running backs coach Todd McNair, quarterbacks coach Clyde Christensen, senior offensive assistant Rick Christoffel, and outside linebackers coach Bob Sanders have decided, and the outside linebackers coach decided to retire. That's a lot. That's going to be a lot of changeover for Todd Bowles.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, all these offensive.
This is a reference to Tom Brady. Ethan saying that they don't want. He was just in Vegas and they don't want him there. I don't know.
I think it's a Josh McDaniels thing. I think it's a Josh McDaniels thing. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I think that would be a happy reunion. All of these offensive coordinator positions that are opening up, Cliff Kingsbury's gonna fill one of them. I just know it.
Yeah, apparently he said, "Deuce, I'm gonna go to Thailand and enjoy my life for the off season." Apparently, he's not really taking any interviews right now. Who knows? Maybe he goes and does a trip, gets away for a little bit for like a week or two, comes back and does a couple of interviews and see what's up with it. Because once we see these head coaching interviews happen, once we start seeing them actually be solidified, and these head coaching positions will be solidified by at least next week. I'm telling you, it just happens. It just goes. And that's usually how it happens. Once one coach gets hired, then all the owners kind of scramble and say, okay, great, we got to get our guy now. And most of them have pretty much fulfilled the Rooney rule. The Rooney rule. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the Texans still have to interview D'Amico Ryans, who I'm a fan of. I would like to
D'Amico and Ajaro should get a chance somewhere in the league. If not this year, then next year.
I just can't believe the Broncos would go anywhere else
over Ajaro. I just think Sean Payton's there. But anyways,
but we've heard, Sean Payton's definitely going to Houston. Sean Payton's definitely going to Carolina. Sean Payton's definitely going to Denver. Do we really know? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. And here's the thing: with this article coming out against the Panthers, I don't know exactly what's going to happen because there could be where they have to re-interview everybody technically because of Nicole being in there. I don't know what's going to come out of it. There's more information will come out of it probably for tomorrow if the Panthers can get up to the league and actually provide documentation or whatever is going to happen. If that's the case, then I don't know if their interviews were null and void because they had somebody on the interview panel not qualified.
I would imagine we're going to see a decision from the NFL pretty swiftly on that, just because the Panthers they've got to be able to know where they can go from here. They've got to,
Right.
if they have to reconduct interviews, then they need to know that.
If they have to reconduct interviews and just hire Steve Wilkes.
Dude, we said that from the jump.
Like,
we said that from
the guy is. Like, do you really want to give these guys a second chance to come in and then try to woo you again because they realize that some of the things they probably said in their interviews beforehand may have been not what Tepper actually wanted? Because, like, you can come away from an interview and then realize, oof, they didn't like that answer. Maybe at the interview again, here's my new answer. And Tepper's a businessman. He's going to want to be sold. He wants you to tell him what he wants to hear and how you're going to correctively fix the organization in his eyes. Like, you have to fix it in his eyes, not your eyes, his eyes. That's Tepper.
I want to say this one more time just because I'm trying to speak it into existence here. Jonathan Gannon is going to be the next head coach of the Houston Texans.
I think that'll be a good hire.
It's a great hire. It's a great hire.
Yeah. This opens up the possibility for Carolina if they do hire Steve Wilkes. Byron Leftwich was Steve Wilkes' quarterback coach in Arizona for that 1 year. So there's a connection there. I'm not saying that I'm going to, bang the table for Byron Leftwich. I would rather see maybe Frank Wright because I personally just think his offensive scheme is a little bit better. He's a little bit better with, actually helping quarterbacks. Byron Leftwich has really just had Tom Brady for the past couple of years, make him look a little good. So I don't know what's real with Byron Leftwich. So obviously not his last game because he looked like trash. I don't know if it's just a problem with his offensive play calling or whatever, but he did not look good.
Tom couldn't have hit water if he fell out of a boat last weekend.
No. The next person who got let go today, or they parted ways, was Greg Roman from the Baltimore Ravens, offensive coordinator. I called this move. I said their offense was getting stagnant, predictable. Like, it's power run offense, but man, they need something else. I enjoy their offense; it's pretty fun. But like, when you don't invest in your receivers and you don't invest anywhere else, like Lamar's number one target is the tight end, Mark Andrews. So like, yeah, like they've got to figure something else out. So, and it's gonna be hard because you got Lamar, and he's, he likes to run. So
Cliff Kingsbury,
more innovative, huh?
Cliff Kingsbury
would be interesting. I think Greg Roman's going to go to the Chargers. I think it's going to be a spot for him to go to with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that'll be nice and fun. Him and Staley can really ruin that organization together. Be super boring together. I'm so excited to see that.
Mm-hmm.
that would be miserable football to watch, dude.
That's where he's going to go. I mean, Brandon Staley's got to figure something out. He can't figure out how to coach because he can't manage a game to save his life.
Dude, there's no way.
Also, he can't inspire his guys to, hey, hold them, at 27-0. That's a coaching issue.
Like, we're up 27-0. Like, hey guys, can we get just one more touchdown and, like, for a half, not allow them to score 34 points?
31.
That's all we got to do.
Yeah. Two other key coordinator positions that were fired today. Vikings and the Miami Dolphins both fired their defensive coordinators. Kevin O'Connell came out and said that Ed Dontali is not going to return to the team this year. That's a pretty strong move to do on his first year as a head coach. And then Mike McDaniel as well, a first-year head coach, fired Josh Boyer, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, who's been the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins for the past 3 years. So those are going to be two key positions that are going to be coming open as well for coordinator positions. I expect Vic Fangio to at least go to one of those because they have good defensive units, and then utilize them somehow.
Who's the his name's slipping my mind. Weren't the Texans interviewing a defensive guy, or was he like a tight ends coach or something?
Oh, the Texans interviewed Thomas
Brown.
Thomas Brown. He's a Rams tight end coach.
So I think that's a name we could see fill one of these OC spots.
That is true. I think they could have said they brought him in, and that's the thing too. That's why I think Frank Reich could be an offensive coordinator for the Panthers, because you bring in these guys, they talk to them, and then they give them the slight question. Like the guys who don't already hold offensive coordinator position. They're not going to take a lateral move. They always want to go up. But if you are a former head coach or somebody just trying to get back into the league like that, like Frank Reich, and I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, why I keep saying Frank Reich, but his daughter just got a job with the Panthers as a marketing consultant under the chief communications officer. Now, she did come out and say that, hey, that's not the reason why I got hired, but coincidentally, I'm not going to believe that because obviously, who's going to go out there and, say
hey,
that?
I got a job because my dad's about to be the head coach.
She understands communication. She understands social. She understands, hey, you got a million or so fans looking at this and be like, ooh, is this a telltale sign? I mean, it's part of the game. It's the fun part of this, speculation, all that type of fun stuff. So, yeah. Another free agent quarterback, by the way, we need to keep our eyes on is going to be Ryan Tannehill. But they were talking in the chat just the destinations of where Derek Carr could go. Brandon said New York, the New York Jets, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Tennessee. And I actually agree with that whole list right there. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
Later, Brandon. Hope you have a good one. Talk to you later, man. Any other topics or any striking news here in the past hour since we've been on?
No, not that I've seen. Let me update my Texans.
Scroll to the socials really quick. Make sure there's nothing new to talk about or anything like that.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure the Texans haven't hired Sean Payton yet.
Congratulations to Bradley Bozeman, the Panthers starting center, which we have to sign him this year to solidify that offensive line again. He just had his first child with his wife. So congratulations and welcome to fatherhood.
The Texans have not hired a head coach yet.
Oh, not yet, huh?
It's going to be Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, I mean, you need to put a bet out there on that. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just looking, making sure. Not really seeing anything.
All right, guys. Well, we greatly appreciate you guys listening in live, listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts from, we're there. Like us on or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, share us on Twitter, share us on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We would really appreciate you guys to show us some love, share us, give us a review. Any type of feedback, we welcome it, and we really appreciate you guys listening in. We will have a lot to unpack, maybe some head coaching hires, the AFC, NFC championship games on Tuesday, and we hope to see you guys there.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the game. Stay safe. And as always, keep pounding for me. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of the things I love to say. Keep pounding. Panthers all through and through, man. All right, bye, guys. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. Hold up. What? Road. What's going on, man? He said 1 second. He's over here commenting at the last second for us. What you got for us, man?
1 second.
1
Nick.
second. You got to get this thing in quick. Coming in late to the show.
I can't wait to see what this is.
I want to see. Yeah. We got 2 people back in the show still.
Dang, we got 2 people in here now. What's up, guys?
Oh, no. Your man is safe, okay? He's safe for this year, but you're going to lose him next year. I'm going to let you know. If you run that same offense again next year, your boy Ben Johnson is gone.
Hey, Nick, I'm sorry to tell you, bud, but this has been Johnson's last year as an offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions.
He better get you to the golden stage. If he doesn't, then oof. Hey, 6-6 is what it is. He came in and covered 1-5. But yeah, we gotta go, guys. Y'all have a good one. We're sitting at an hour, so see you next Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye.
Peace.